And over there, yes. Okay. Okay, so we have Mahesh and Rahul. Both of them, again, are...
I think we met in the last,
yes.
I think before a year, we had that online session.
Yes, they are the one. There are many others who help put together all of these things.
Yes.
Both of them, again, are...
I think we met in the last, I think before a year, we had that. Exactly.
Yes, they are the one. There are many others who help put together all of these things.
Yes.
Both of them, again, are...
I think we met in the last, I think before a year, we had that. Exactly.
Yes, they are the one. There are many others who help put together all of these things.
Yes.
Again, are... Ganesh, if Ganeshji wants it, he is the Ganapati. He knows which Ganas to get. They are others who help put together all of these things.
Yes.
Again, Ganesh, if Ganeshji wants it, he is the Ganapati. He knows which Ganas
this is going to be, I think it is an echo. So
yeah, there is an echo. Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of it. Mahesh, do you know how? Or Guru?
I think now it has stopped. Now you're okay.
Yeah, now it has stopped. Yes.
Shall we start now?
Yeah, Rahul, what do you think? We'll start now. Okay. So welcome everybody who could join us tonight. It has been a 3-day-long celebration of Ganesh Utsav organized by Guru Vairappan Temple in Morganville. And we have it a great celebration with puja, arati, entertainment, and nice prasad, and long celebration procession. And now I think we are ready to listen to a little bit of, educate ourselves, focus on this, on ourselves.
Stories in Upanishad, very peculiar type of stories.
Mostly stories from the Upanishad.
Yes.
So Swamiji, as many of you may not know, he is a resident Acharya at the Arshavidya Gurukulam in Pennsylvania. And Swamiji is a disciple of Puja Swami Dayananda Saraswati Ji and Swami Viditatmanandji. And Swami Muktatmananda, his name, sorry, I forgot to mention his name. And he is a scholar of all the Vedic texts. And he delivers all these teachings with such a great ease and clarity that we understand these complicated Sanskrit words and their meanings. We chant a lot of things, but we really don't know what they really mean. They have much more meaning than what it seems on the surface. And Upanishads are even, it is something that we never think we will ever touch. But Swamiji made it easy for us to understand what they are and what it means. So I don't think I want to take much more time. I will just request Swamiji to start. I'm happy, Swamiji, that you accepted our invitation. With your busy schedule of classes, you have managed to, satisfy us. Thank you very much for that. And I'll let you speak on the topic of stories from Upanishad.
Okay.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. So stories in Upanishads. First, what is Upanishad? So the word Upanishad
If you fragment it, if you divide into 3 parts, each part has its own meaning, and then combined together, you get the meaning of the whole word. Upa. Upa means what is near. And near is always relative. But if it is not told anything, then we should take what is nearest. And nearest to myself. Nearest to myself is I. Myself. There is nothing other than I which is nearer to me. I alone is the most nearest. Therefore, Upa is equal to I. In general, in Sanskritam, we call Atma. Self. Ni means Nishchaya. Nishchaya means ascertainment. Ascertainment of the self means the nature of the self. So, one has to determine what is real I, or who am I, let us say. Who am I? Upa plus Ni means self-knowledge. Who am I? What is my nature? One who transacts in the world, who is this I, etc. And then Sad, the third portion. That is an agent. Means this self-knowledge, Upa plus Ni, self-knowledge, does something indicated by that Sad, Upanishad, Sad. First, it loosens something. Self-knowledge loosens. Make loose. What? The wrong conceptions about myself. They are first loosened. By ascertaining the real nature of I, well, these notions regarding the I are loosened. And once they are loosened, then they are removed. So, self-knowledge loosens the wrong notions about I, the error pertaining to the I, and then destroys those notions. What else? This is all destruction and loosening. It's all negative. What's anything is positive? Yes, positive. The self-knowledge will help you to gain what you really want in your life. You want freedom? Yes. Self-knowledge makes you free. You want to get rid of this sorrow, limitations, frustrations, fear, tensions? Yeah, we want to. Yes. That's your goal? Yeah, that's my goal. Self-knowledge helps you to achieve that goal. That's what it is. So, Upanishad is the text which is we call as a Vedanta, because it's at the end portion of the Veda. So, Upanishads are generally we find in the end portions of the Veda. And they impart this self-knowledge and help you to achieve your goal. That's it. Now, in those Upanishads, there are several. In 4 Vedas, we have 4 Vedas, and in each Upanishad, there are few in each Veda, there are few Upanishads. And therefore, we generally study some 10 Upanishads. Because on that, we have a commentary, because we can't understand, those mantras of the Veda on our own. And therefore, fortunate enough, by God's grace, Ishvara himself took an avatara in the form of a Shankaracharya. Shankaram Shankaracharya. So Lord Shiva himself has come down in the form of a Shankaracharya. He wrote these commentaries and unlocked the meanings of those mantras. And therefore, he has written a commentary on some 10 Upanishads. So those Upanishads we study. And in those Upanishads, you find certain stories in the beginning. Why story? Story should be in Purana. Why story should be in Upanishad? Well, there is a purpose. What is the purpose? 4 things are highlighted indirectly by the story. First, the glory of this self-knowledge. How glorious and rare this particular knowledge is has been revealed by this story. Then, second thing is, to gain self-knowledge, we definitely need a teacher. One cannot get a self-knowledge without a teacher. That is also revealed through the story. Because in story, a disciple goes to the teacher and asks the question regarding the self, and then the teacher imparts the knowledge, etc. So that story shows that the person who wants to gain such a goal of freedom, etc., moksha, we generally say. I would like to avoid that word moksha right now. But such a goal, if one is interested and for that one wants to gain self-knowledge, then one should go to the teacher. That is revealed in the story. So indirectly, this point also is highlighted that to gain a self-knowledge, one should go to the teacher. Third, the qualification or characteristics of a competent teacher also is revealed. Because there the names are there. Like we are going to see, we are going to see in this Kathopanishad that the Lord Yama, the Lord of the time, well, he's a teacher. That shows his competency. So the qualification or characteristic of a competent teacher also, is revealed. Means who is fit to be a teacher to impart self-knowledge is indirectly highlighted by the story. An unqualified teacher, will do more disservice rather than serving a purpose. So third point, that is the third point. Fourth is the qualification of the student who is going to gain the knowledge. Well, that is also revealed by the story. And so these 4 things are there. And we do not know, if this story is a fact or a fiction or a mixture. Like the historic movies on World War II or Titanic, The movie Titanic has both the things. Fact also is there because naturally that event has happened, that accident has happened. So the Titanic movie has a fact as well as fiction. Certain imaginary things are also there. To make it a movie, you need to imagine few things, you have to add it. Same way, this story is, either it's a fact, either it's a fiction, or it's a mixture, we leave it at this point. Our focus is not the veracity of this story, but our focus is the teaching through the story. And they are implicit in it. And so, this is with this background pertaining to the stories in the Upanishad, I start a particular story in one Upanishad called Kathopanishad. This Kathopanishad happens to be in the Krishna Yajurveda. And in that Veda also there are some recensions. In that the particular recension is called Katha. In that recension, this particular Upanishad appears there, which has a very good story. So I thought, let us begin with the story of the Kathopanishad. And I will just read the mantra, if they are there in the Upanishad, just read and then explain you, and we go further. So the very first mantra starts with the story in the Upanishad, Kathopanishad. Ushandhavai Vajashavasaha Sarvaveda Sambhava Tasyaha Nachiketa Nama Putra Asa. So Upanishad is introducing a person called Vajashavasaha, a Vedic person. Naturally, it's a part of Veda, so the person would be Vedika only, Vedika. So, and his name was Vajashavasaha. This name indicates that, he was The name indicates he was a follower of the Vedic tradition. Anyway, so because some people are in a waiting, etc. So I'm just, admitting here. So that's anyway. So Vajashavasaha, well, is the name very indicates he's a Vedic person. And Vajaha means a food. And Shravaha means who is famous. So Vajashavasaha means one who is famous for the food, not for eating the food. One who is famous, popular for distributing the food. And well, that indicates that person is a Vaidika, because giving food, etc., is an instruction from the Veda, Annadanam, etc. Manushya Yajna, it is called. I will talk, if time permits, about Manushya Yajna. So those certain Pancha Mahayajnas are there, described in the Veda. One of them is Manushya Yajna, giving a food to the other human being, etc., because that sustains the life. Therefore, the very word Vajashravasah indicates the person is a Vaidika. And so, and the story says, once he performed a very big yajna ritual called Vishwajit Yaga. Yaga means ritual. Vishwajit, it's the name of that ritual. It was a unique sacrifice, and where the performer gives everything, whatever he possesses, including the house he lived in, to the charity. Everything he gives. It seems that this Grihastha who performs this yaga, definitely after doing this yaga wants to take a sannyasa, because he's giving everything, giving away in charity, everything. Therefore, must be that person is going to take a sannyasa. That's what we feel. That's what we infer from this. But anyway, so in the Vedic tradition, all this, the rituals, etc., all the sadhana means, etc., religious rites, etc., can be performed in two different ways. We should know this. First, we call a ritual you perform for gaining a certain benefit. Like you can do Gana Homa, right? Ganapati with Ganapati Mula Mantra you can do, or you can do with Ganapati Gayatri also you can do. And I asked you, why are you doing? You said, Swamiji, Ganapati has a Riddhi Siddhi, both. I want both. I want a success in my life, material success. I want money also, this, that, etc. So then, well, so this particular ritual you are doing for the sake of gaining some benefit. That how ritual give you money? That's an amazing thing. So ritual generates a punyam, and that punyam will connect you to this money, etc. So means it will come in your life. So this is a one type of a ritual in which you perform that ritual for the sake of gaining certain material benefit. Second type of a ritual is, well, you do, and that is going to generate punyam, definitely. But you don't want any material gain. Suppose you are interested in this, the spiritual aspects of after the talk, etc. You also feel that, well, I should also work for the self-knowledge to gain moksha, etc. And and you definitely you have a certain obstacles in your life by which you can't attend the classes, this, that, etc. Or your health doesn't permit. And then, well, still you can perform this yaga and ask for the qualifications for gaining knowledge and for gaining moksha. You can ask for, well, to remove the obstacles from your spiritual path, etc. So then this type of a ritual we call as a nishkama, because there is no kama. Kama means there is no material desire. I'm interested only in this kind of thing. These are two types of rituals. But in this story, why you have mentioned, Swamiji, all this? Because in this story, this Vajashravas are performing the yajna to obtain material benefits. His target is a heaven. He wanted to go to heaven. The final part of the Vedic yajna is a dakshina. It's a part of, dakshina. It's a feast given to that, priest. for service without the priest asking for it. That is very important. Anyway, and that's an integral part of the sacrifice. And this sacrifice is complete only when the dakshina is given. Without it, the performer will not gain the benefit of for whatever the purpose he has done, that purpose will not be served. So without appropriate dakshina, etc., fees, etc., it becomes Bhagavan calls it as a tamasa yajna. In the 17th chapter, in the 13th verse, Bhagavan talked about it, that if a certain integral part of yajnas are there, if you don't, do any appropriate manner, then you won't get the result of that yaga or ritual, etc. So you should take care of all these things. Now, the another person which mantra has mentioned is Nachiketa. This is Vajashravas. Nachiketa is a son of a Vajashravas who is performing this yaga. He's a hero of this. In fact, the story of this Upanishad, he's a hero. In fact, we are going to talk about Nachiketa only. And he is a disciple indirectly, but he is going to learn from Yamadharma Raja, etc. So that's another part. So Upanishad gives the background that Nachiketa has been brought up in a Vedika family because his father himself is a Vajashravasa, and he is familiar with the rituals. Nachiketa also. So if one does not have a faith in this, this karmas, etc., rituals, etc., it is difficult to gain faith in the Vedanta. But this boy, even the 9-year-old boy, Upanishad is going to tell, Kumaram, 9-year-old boy has a full faith in this all karmas, rituals, etc. And Nachiketa watched that his father, yajna is over. His father is distributing dakshina because he has to give everything. So he is distributing dakshina, the fees, to the priest. And he observes something which is very disturbing. That has been told in the later verses. Now, second verse. Tamha kumaram santam dakshinasu niyamanasu shraddha avivesha saha amanyata. Well, when this Nachiketa is referred here as a Kumara. Kumara means a boy below 10 years. It's called Kumara. 7, 8 years or 9 years. Anyway, but Nachiketa was informed of the rituals and their benefits. And if you are going to do sakama karma, you want a swarga, etc., then you have to follow all the rules properly. It should be all the rules must be observed properly. If a single rule is violated, it may not produce the desired result. And therefore, even though he was just a boy, when the dakshinas were being distributed, Nachiketa remembered all the rules that he found. He was knowing that all the rules must be observed. And he wondered what the fate of my father would be by distributing such type of dakshinas. What type of dakshina? Well, it's told in the 3rd verse. That made him very disturbed. When he was distributing, his father was distributing dakshinas, certain gifts to the priest. He saw and he was disturbed. What was the dakshina? Pitodakaha jagdhatrunaha dugdadoha nirindriyaha anandanam te lokaha tansa gacchati tadadat. Well, this is the qualification of Nachiketa. So Upanishad teaches us that we should have this qualification. Shraddha avivesha. In him, the Shraddha has entered. He was as though full of now Shraddha, faith in the entire Veda. And the earlier portion of the Veda talks about all these karmas and talks about how the dakshina has to be given, fees has to be given, etc. What is to be given, how it is to be given. Everything he was knowing. And he has a full faith. That is his qualification, of course. And he sees that the cows are being given as a dakshina. Cows were considered wealth in those days, you know very well. So he notices that these cows which are given, it's fine. But these cows were basically miserable and useless. If you see the mantra, it says Pitodaka Jagdhatrunaha. these cows which have drunk water for the last time, these cows which have eaten the grass for the last time, these cows which have given milk for the last time, means all are dilapidated, unproductive cows. And well, definitely such a kind of a dakshina giving to the priest is not going to be appropriate. So cows are so old and weak, they cannot drink water, they cannot eat, they are beyond the milking years and are incapable of reproduction. Nachiketa is disturbed with such a deficient yajna. The whole yajna is done. Now dakshina is given in that he is giving like this, his father. So his father will not get Swargaloka. No, not only that, worst part is that he may get some Naraka also, maybe a lower world. Well, and so he approached the father. Sahovacha pitaram tata kasmai mam dasyasi iti dvitiyam trutiyam tam hovacha mrityave tva dadami iti. Well, Upanishad does not mention why Vajashavasa gave useless cows as a dakshina. We can imagine a positive and negative reason on our own. Some says Vajashavasa was a very greedy person who did not want to part with his good cows, etc. And therefore he gave his useless cows as a dakshina to the priest. On the other hand, positively if you think, well, we can say that he was performing a Vishwajit Yaga in which he is going to give everything. Then such a person, how can he be greedy? When you are going to give a part of something, then you are greedy for certain things. You want to preserve that, and other things which is not, which is useless, etc. you will give. But he is performing Vishwajit Yaga in which he is going to give everything, including his house. Then, well, he is not a greedy person. So, well, we should not say like that. Anyway, but Nachiketa feels that the son is also a property of the parents. No need to, basically to debate whether it is right or wrong. We keep it away. He feels that the parents gave birth to him and gave everything to him, and so he's a property of his parents. So he is ready to be given as a dakshina for any priest. So if he is given away as a dakshina, he can serve the priest better compared to those miserable cows. And so he approached the father and asked that who he will be given as a dakshina to. And Vajashavasa ignored him because he was busy with giving. So like any other child, Nachiketa asked him again and again and again. Dvitiyam, Trutiyam. So third time Vajashavasa got irritated and well tells him that he will give him to the Lord Death. Mrityave tvam dadami. In equivalent in our modern times, you must have heard of. If a person keeps on asking and asking and asking, child, go to hell. They say like that. So, mrityave tva dadami. I'm giving it to Lord Death. Or the father just blurt out, in irritation, etc. Does not really mean this. But Nachiketa took it seriously. This is something every parent should know. And be careful with the children, When making these types of a statement, we say one step further. Even during pregnancy, the child registers the words. That's how it is. Anyway, so then Nachiketa was told like this. And then Nachiketa came out, went away from his father, and he thought. He said, this 9-year-old boy, Bahunamimi Prathamaha, Bahunamimi Madhyamaha, Kimsid Yamasya Kartavyam, Yanmaya Adya Karishyati. Nachiketa now think about the consequences of going to Lord Yama. He's not worried actually. He's prepared to go. And if his father's, because he is prepared to go because his father will get a benefit of the yajna, etc. Because his own boy has been given a dakshina to Lord Yama. So he was ready for that. This indicates Nachiketa is a selfless, basically, because that's what I was telling you is a third point, if you remember, third or fourth point, that what is the highlight of the story is this, qualifications of the student. That's what I'm telling you along with the story. So he has a Shraddha, we have seen, and he is selfless. And because he's prepared to sacrifice for his parents. And however, he's concerned whether he would be fully utilized by the Lord Yama or not. Because Lord Yama means like a cabinet minister, and that too, you can understand, compared to Indra and all that, we all the time worry about this one Devata, and that is Yama, throughout the life. Because lot of time, lot of death means lot of time. Everyone is afraid of. You may not remember Lord Indra, etc., or Lord Vayu, Lord Agni, etc. But Lord Yama, everyone remembers from birth to death. Such a Lord Yama means, well, he's a very important and powerful cabinet minister kind of a thing of the Indra's cabinet. And therefore, he is likely to have many helpers and servants. So then Nachiketa thinks, of what use can I be for such a person? Sending him to Lord Yama is a redundant, as a rain is redundant in the ocean. And so that's what he's thinking. Kim maya adya karishyati. Kim svid yamasya kartavyam maya adya karishyati. In which manner I can serve Lord Yama, because he has a lot of servants and helpers and very capable person. Well, if he's sent to some old priest, etc., well, who has no son, etc., then he could work as, he could serve him. So he might at least be fully utilized. So this makes him wonder whether his father thinks that he is useless, therefore he is giving. Because he is of no use to Lord Yama. Still he is giving to Lord Yama, means my father is thinking that I'm a useless person. And that is how he is sending me to a place where he will not do any damage, at least, by working. So he then answers his own question. Very beautiful. In this mantra, where he observes that he is Bahunamemi Prathamaha. Well, I am mostly among the toppers in the class. Father himself is a guru, and father has noticed that he is very brilliant. Bahunamemi Prathamaha. Prathamaha means topper. And Bahunamemi Madhyamaha. And sometimes among more students, I may be a little lower, but I am never at the bottom. Adhamaha. I am never at the bottom. The gradation, this kind of a gradation, is based on the students. You may wonder how Swami this gradation. Well, Prathamaha, Madhyamaha, Adhamaha, topper, and then in mediocre, and then Adhamaha, useless, or at the bottom. How this gradation was occurring in those days? Well, basically it's based on the student if knows the needs of the teacher, depending on that. How the top student infers the needs of the guru from his body language and fulfills them without the guru's request or a command. That's called topper. Then second, the middle student needs guru's verbal command. Do this for me. Bring water. The topper means what? Oh, this teacher, it seems his throat is not working properly. From his body language, the student understands and bring water. Uttamaha. This Madhyama means what? Teacher has to tell, bring water for me. I'm feeling a little thirsty. Then he goes and brings. This is a Madhyama. And the third one you can understand, who is at the bottom. Even after an instruction is given by the teacher, he will not do. These were the gradations on those days. So, Bahunamemi Prathamaha, Bahunamemi Madhyamaha. Kimsid Yamasya Kartavam Maya Adya Karishyati. See, the 9-year-old, boy thinks like this. So anyway, what job is there for Yamadharmaraja that can be done by me? So his sadness is, he's not going to Lord Yama, but in being underutilized by Lord Yama. That is his sadness. And then he says something which is wonderful. We wonder how this boy knows this. Anupashya yatha purve pratipashya tatha pare sasyamiva martyah pachyate sasyamiva jayate punah. A family is a group of members, right? But for it to be the harmonious, there should be only one decision maker. The other family members should have a power to make suggestions, but only the head should have a power to make the decision. So whatever the decision the other must follow, wrong or right decision, once the person, the head, the decision maker, whatever the decision he takes, then right or wrong, then other family members have to agree. So the leader's duty is also to carefully listen to other members, to family members, when taking decision. Nachiketa accepts his father's decision and he is ready to go to that Yamaloka. He conveys basically his intent to his father, who has really forgotten, because he has spoken out of irritation. So now he has forgotten. He is busy in distributing. So he has forgotten. So he went again and he conveys his intent to his father. The father explains to him that he did not mean that statement, go to hell, etc., go to mrityu, etc. And therefore there is no need to implement his order. Nachiketa says his father must keep, his word to maintain his integrity. So you must, if you see, it is exactly like in a Ramayana, in a case of just a minute. So Dasharatha also basically lost his son because of his promise to Kaikeyi. You know very well on this. Anyway, so Upanishad thereby shows that Nachiketa is a dharmic person, man of integrity. He also, we could say, okay, Dad, you have told me in anger, okay, I am also forgetting, and you also forget. You have already forgotten, except no. He was a very dharmic person. Dharma is an important prerequisite for gaining the self-knowledge, and that qualification he has. Without integrity and honesty, one cannot gain the self-knowledge. So he insists on keeping the word, especially because the statement was made in a yagashala, right? There the distribution was going on. So father tries to talk him out of it, and Nachiketa advises his father that the life is very short. Sasyamiva pachyate, sasyamiva pachyate, sasyamiva martyah pachyate, sasyamiva ajayate punah. Sasyam means dhanyam, the crops. The crops, after this monsoon is over, they, saw the seeds, etc. And within 3 months, before even winter ends, the crops are ready. That they harvest those crops and another crop, then another crop. So sasyamiva martyah pachyate, sasyamiva ajayate punah. Martyah, this human being, is like this crop. His life, compared to this geological time, the life of a human being, 100 years is nothing. It's like a crop which is there for 3 months or 2 months or 4 months maximum in a year, is nothing. So he's telling. So anyway, so basically life is very short. So Dhanam and Satyam were eternal for protecting the ephemeral life. One cannot sacrifice dharma. In fact, it should be the other way around. Sacrificing one's life is better for the sake of dharma. So dharma. And therefore he says, Daddy, you should not talk like this, that you forget. Once you have given that order, it's my dharma to observe. Anyway, then there is no reference to the following in the Upanishad, but we will supply to make a link in the story. Vajrashravasa, of course, relents and, let him go because he was not agreeing. Then Nachiketa went to Yamaloka. No details in the story, but I am telling you. How he went also, etc. Well, there are no details. Because Swamiji, one cannot go to Swargaloka with this body. You are just talking something imaginary. But I have already told to you, this is a story. Certain part fact, certain part fiction. And that's what everyone is. And we enjoy also seeing those movies, right? On World War II or a Titanic or on a Star Wars or whatever. There is not pure imagination. There is certain truth also. There are certain facts. Yeah. But when it comes to our Shastras, we throw them away. Oh, these are all imagination. It's not so. I can talk about it, but I don't want to talk. See, okay, so now this part, you think that it is just imagination. You can think, no problem. That he went with this body to Yamaloka. Let us say that. And there, once he went there and he went to Lord Yama's place, residence, he discovered that there are no male members in the house at that moment. In our tradition, if male members is present in the family, a male guest, if is not present in the family, male guest will not enter, will not stay with them. Although he's just a 9-year-old boy, right? He's just a child, but he follows that tradition and remain, because Lord Yama has gone somewhere for work. Then he all the time is on the move. Lord Yama is all the time on the move. Even if you are doing a mountaineering, he comes there and it takes away from the Everest. Person is under water, well, he takes away. He is walking somewhere in this trails. He takes away. This is how he is. So he was very busy. He was not there in the home, and definitely still following a tradition. This Nachiketa remained outside the house for 3 days without eating. Although he's offered food, he declines to eat it. And he said, I would like to first meet Lord Yama, and he will instruct me to invite me in the home and to take food, etc. So I will take him his permission and then I will take the food. And then 7th mantra says, Vaishwanar pravishati atithir brahmano gruhan tasetam shantim kurvanti haravaivasvatodakam. Well, as I just mentioned about this Manushya, Taittiriya Upanishad mentions it. Manushya means which is a properly hosting a guest is a Manushya. It calls the guest as a god. Taittiriya Upanishad. You know very well. Many people, maybe not all, but many people may be knowing. Pitru Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. So basically, it calls the guest as a Deva, God. Atithi means guest. Since it is one of the Panchmahayagnas, and I'm to serve the Atithi, etc., it is prescribed as a compulsory duty. And therefore, failure to perform will be considered as a sin of omission. And this person, the Nachiketa, here it is mentioned as a Brahmin. I'll explain. Don't worry, Brahmin not by Jati, but you take it for a moment. So, Atithir Brahmano Gruhan. So, a guest, Nachiketa, a Brahmin guest, is considered as a Vaishwanara. It's like a fire. As per the scriptures, Agni Devata manifest in this Bhuloka, on this earth, in the form of a Brahmana. Fire is very powerful. And if you know how to handle, you will be blessed with the many benefits. If you don't handle fire properly, it can destroy you. And such a guest, Brahmana guest on the earth, who is moving on the earth, is considered as a fire. So the family of this Lord Yama is worried about this sin of omission. Well, by not properly treating this boy who is there outside without eating food, outside the house, 3 days. So when Lord Yama came, they plead Lord Yama to rectify the situation immediately. And well, basically, and what you can do to pacify the Agni? Water. That's what he did. Haravaivasvata udakam. So peace, offering to Agni, well, is made with the water to quench the fire. Therefore, they urge Lord Yama to the family of Lord Yama urge Lord Yama to propitiate Nachiketa with the water by washing his feet, Pada Puja, etc. And here Lord Yama's name is, you can see, Vaivasvataha, very beautiful, because he is a son of a Vivaswan, and so he is called a Vaivasvataha. This is a style. So you give a name to a child by which, if you utter a name, you will understand who is his father. So Vaivasvataha means, oh, he's a son of a Vivaswan, etc. And Vivaswan means a Lord's son. Anyway, this, they urge this, our Lord Yama, means to offer the water and do Pada Puja, etc. And then you see now Lord Yama talks to Nachiketa. Very beautiful. What he says, Tisraha Ratriri Yadavatsi Grihe Me Anashnan Brahman Atithir Namasyaha Namastestu Brahman Sastimestu Tasmat Prati Trin Varan Vrunishwa. He said, Lord, you can understand, Lord Yama is not an ordinary person, as I told you, very senior cabinet minister. And he has a great status and power because he is the Lord of the time principle. Think the manifestation of a time, which is a part of the creation. If the whole creation is an intelligent manifestation, the time principle also is an intelligent manifestation. And when there is an intelligent manifestation, there is a consciousness behind. And therefore, this time principle, will take it as a conscious being called Devata. We call it Lord Yama. That's how we have Prithvi Devata. We feel Prithvi is inert. Why Devata? But everything is intelligently functioning. You can understand how the man, if you list a functions of the just earth, I am sure you will not be able to complete the list. Thousands and thousands of benefits, starting from giving food. Everything ultimately comes from the earth. You sustain, and I sustain because of earth. It definitely gives a adhara, that's another thing. Support, that's a different issue. But our sustenance of life ultimately comes from there. So you can understand a very intelligent manifestation. And when there is an intelligence is there, then definitely conscious being is involved. And therefore, this Prithvi, we don't look upon as an inert entity. We look upon as an conscious being. That's called Prithvi Devata. All ultimately Ishvara's manifestation. Ishvara basically has manifested in the form of this entire creation. But the same Ishvara we looked upon from a certain particular principle called Devata. The whole creation is Ishvara. But you look upon Prithvi, you look upon Ishvara from the standpoint of a Prithvi, we call Prithvi Devata. That's it. Anyway, so Lord Yama is not an ordinary person. He has got a great status, power, and he is Lord of time principle, but he is so aware of his duties, and he humbly worships this Nachiketa, who is not even a god, he is a human being. So, well, he says, Anashnan Brahman Atithir Namasyaha. Namaste astu Brahman. Hey Brahman, Namaste astu. Swasti me astu. May you be pleased on me, because I have unknowingly I have kept you away from the food, and you remain away, and all kinds of discomfort away from, outside the house, etc. I did not deliberately commit the mistake, but still I'm asking for forgiveness. And so this shows a humility on the part of the teacher. Yamadharmaraja is going to be the teacher of Nachiketa for self-knowledge. So I have told you the qualifications of the teacher also you will see through the story. Anyway, so definitely, and so he salutes him again and offers 3 boons as a compensation, as a prayashchittam, compensation. 1 for each night, because he stayed away 3 nights. So 1 for each night for this error, so that he can retain his punyam without losing them, because he has kept a fire, this atithi, without food outside. Not deliberately, indeliberately, but still. Anyway, so he offered 3 boons. What is the first boon? Well, he says, Nachiketa is going to ask. Nachiketa asks for the first boon, which consists of a set of benefits. Very intelligent boy. He asks for the parents first, for the father. What he asked? Shanta sankalpah sumana yatha syat Vitamanyur gautamo mabhimrityo tvat prasushtam mabhivadet pratitah etat trayanam prathamam varam rune. Well, this is the first boon I choose among the 3. What is that? Gautama, means my father, should be free from anxiety or worries about me, because he has gone to Yamaloka because of his words, his father's word. So his father is very anxious now. So my father should be free from anxiety or worries about me. First, it's a one boon, but in that he asks this whole 5 things. He should, and my father should enjoy the peace of the mind. Then when I go back, well, when after conversation, means you are going to make me free, because you are Lord of death. So, and I have come to face you, and I'm in your loka, so means I am dead now. No. When you send me back, well, he should not be angry with me. See how he asked. After release by you, I should be recognized by my father. He should not dismiss me as a ghost, right? Because meeting after Lord death. So, and he should talk to me free of anger as before. All this was first boon, asked by the Nachiketa to the Yamadharmaraja. Anyway, yatha purastad bhavita pratitah auddalaki arune mat prasushtaha sukham ratri shayita vitamanyuhu tam didrishivan nrityamukhat pramuktam. Lord Ima said, Tathastu. Well, yes, it's true. That's what has been told there. Means blessed by me, he will be free from anger towards you. He will sleep peacefully without any worry during the night. He will not worry about you. Don't worry. And when I release you from the jaws of death, he will recognize you. So he has assured that I am going to release you. So he will recognize you when you go back, and he will be same towards you as before this incident. Anyway, so this is what he said. This is first boon. Second boon, I can't talk. Third boon, I can't talk. It's already time is over. Anyway, so sometime we'll continue with this topic and with this story, which is very, very interesting story. Lot of things to be learned other than self-knowledge through the story. Very wonderful. We'll see that in future. Ranjanadi, am I right? So in case if somebody wants to ask something.
Yeah, we have 10-15 minutes. So do you want to continue the 3 boons? So finish it this time or quickly?
I would, but it may take some time, because we need a certain interpretation and everything, right? Just talking what is the second boon and third boon will not be. What is the second boon he asked, and for whom they asked, and why he asked, and what is the third boon? Well, that third boon takes a little more time. He is asking something very peculiar. And Yamadharmaraja did not want to give him that thing. And so how he tries to, tries to make him greedy, that somehow, well, let me show varieties of the things, and so by which he will drop his third boon of asking self-knowledge, etc. Everything failed. And that conversation is a wonderful conversation. So it may take some time. So let's stop here, and I invite some questions. Some other
Sure.
time we will do.
Yeah.
I will remember.
Swamiji, I know about that. And it was very well explained, Swamiji, what is the Upanishad and the story and the real meaning behind it, you know, why Nachiketa is asking that question and relating
What are the
it
qualifications
to
revealed by the story, and
yeah, thinking it's all made, it was very nice.
Yeah.
I think any of the listeners have questions, please feel free to ask.
Ranjan, we are just curious about the next two boons. So, like, to be continued part. It's like that. As a young kid, right? We have watched those TV episodes, right? Where now they take it to a nice climatic moment and they leave it at the cliffhanger. So we are there.
I really don't.
No.
Frankly speaking, I am not of that nature of keeping suspense, etc. But
no.
Time
It is very interesting story. It is very interesting story.
It's some kind of a dialogue between us. So I feel
correct.
we should have some room for questions also. Last year also we did the same way, I think. In fact, Ranjanaji told me, Swamiji, you invite the questions from our listeners and then you answer and all that. So that's how I thought. It is already 9:05 or 9:06. I thought I should give few moments to you to ask some question. So if you say no, so we don't have any question, then I can take a second boon. Still, third boon I will not be able to complete because there is a lot of dialogue between Yamadharmaraja and Nachiketa. How Yamadharmaraja was not ready to give self-knowledge, and for that purpose he tries to swerve his attention from this boon, etc. And what a reply given by Nachiketa reveals that he is a qualified person for gaining knowledge. And he tells the reason why he doesn't want what you offer. Oh Yamadharmaraja, what you offer, I don't want. Why? That also he tells. Wonderful. So that is really taking a little time. That's how I stopped at this moment. If you don't have a question, I can go a little further. No problem at all. But still, we will not be able to complete the story as such.
Thank you, Swamiji. This was so enlightening. First time I'm joining this. I am very new to this. मैं सच्ची बताती हूँ कि I really like it and मेरी कौतूहलता अंदर बढ़ती जा रही है. But जो आप बात बोल रहे हैं, it's absolutely correct that you really need time. Just I'm a very lay person. I'm more spiritual than the religious person now. I'm a Shiv follower, but still I don't do too much of books and all. I don't read all of that. But the stories and all I like to hear too, because I interpret in the practical. All these are very practical. That's why they came into existence.
That's what.
And that's what I believe in.
That's what I'm saying. Let us forget about this moksha, etc., self-knowledge. But the story, the way it reveals a certain aspect of the teacher and the student and the other criteria, which are very helpful even in today's society. So,
it will be blissful when you can give us other two. With your time and all, you can give us some more time.
Also, Ranjanaji, whenever she arranges, I am always ready. I can take, even if this festival is not there, sometime we can arrange in between. And whatever people are there, they can be informed, and I will take it. The rest of the story, I can take it.
Actually, yeah.
We can do one for Navaratri also, Devi Navaratri.
Pardon?
Also. We can do one for Devi Navaratri also, or Diwali.
Yeah. We can, whatever the festival is there, that is fine. We can do our things, the stories. All stories are very good. Chandogya story, Chandogya Upanishad has a very good story. Kena Upanishad has a very good story. Very good stories. Yeah. So, but I selected, this is the first Upanishad we generally study out of the 10 Upanishads, Katha Upanishad. And it's a wonderful story. And so I thought we should start with the Katha Upanishad.
Yeah. And Swamiji, you definitely have interesting way of explaining it. I think next time we should have more kids, because this is more interesting than Harry Potter. I never thought Upanishads could be more interesting than Harry Potter.
They are very. You have started getting into it.
I'm telling you, they are just wonderful. That's how I think Chinmay Mission has made the serials, I think, big TV serials out of these stories of the Upanishad. There are several episodes on the stories in the Upanishad. They have made wonderfully picturization, imagination, everything. And also conveying the message also. They have made it very beautiful. But anyway, we discussed like this and we will continue. I assure you, whenever you people have a time, some one day in the evening, in a working days or something, whenever, 8 to 9 or something, then the rest of the story I will complete.
So Swamiji is always willing to teach, and he is the attraction and the magnet that brings us to the Gurukulam every time, because we have classes. These classes are offered in the Gurukulam. And Swamiji also does virtual teaching on the, nowadays since COVID, he has many classes. I mean, we have a group, Swami Muktatmanandji. And if you want me to send you the link, add you to the link to that WhatsApp group, you can also see various other classes where you can join on the Zoom, right? Swamiji, all are on the Zoom. So every day people are joining him during the daytime, sometimes in the evening, all this time. And a lot of the classes are also on YouTube. And I think this class was also aired on YouTube live. So, and as Guru Raj, Mr. Sri Guru Raj from HCC, the Guru Ayyappan temple, who is conducting these Ganesh Utsav, they are also having Navratri and other celebrations. So he's saying that you may even have these stories there also. So I will speak to him. And if anyone wants, if we have enough members who wants to listen to this, then Swamiji will have to find time and give me a schedule where
this time between 8 to 9, I'm free.
Oh, okay.
Especially in this 2 months, September, October. These 2 months, I'm free in between 8 to 9 because I have not to take satsang, etc. Because Swami Tattvavedanji has come. I have to take one class between 11 to 12. And that is there. So in the evening, I am free, but you people should be free. I mean, so that we can meet and complete.
So if we have enough people who think they can be free during that time, then we will form a group, Swamiji, and then you can continue this Kathopanishad stories with the next boon you have left us, like Rahul said, cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's true.
So we will have, I will contact you and we'll form
no problem. No problem. Anytime.
Yes.
Swamiji, I have a question.
Yes.
My question is, you referred to the serials. Can you tell us the names of the serials that we may be able to watch?
The stories in Upanishads or something, that kind of a title was there. TV series.
Stories of Upanishads, okay.
But
okay.
You will not like it because Swamiji says it so nicely, you will not like it like that.
I know that, but if you can't get the gold, you will be happy with copper.
No, you should see that. Really, they must have done they have done a lot of work, lot of effort they have put. And in India, when I was in India at the time, they were telecasting all. I could not see. That's another thing. I also wanted to see, but I could not see because of some busy schedule. But people who were watched those TV series, they were really appreciating. So you can also appreciate it. There is nothing wrong. And our discussion will be always there. And still you will find something novel when I discuss the same story which you have seen. So that you don't worry. But if you find time and interested, you can see.
Okay. But thank you, Swamiji.
Namaskar. Namaste.
Yes.
Thank you,
Swamiji, for taking time to teach us.
I am free. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry. 8 to 9, I have nothing to do. So you need not worry. And I will be ready. Whenever you inform me, I will do together.
Thank you very much, Swamiji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you, Swamiji.
So we will conclude today's. This was the last beautiful event that we could have. And we are happy about that you agreed to it and you blessed us with that. Once again, thank you for coming on the Zoom and giving your time. We will hope to have some continued classes on the Kathopanishad story.
Okay.